Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FB4 Daily. It is Saturday. It is the 3rd of August. I've got that one right first time without even thinking because I'm on great form today. This show is brought to you by Paddy Power, as always. Paddy Power, the bookmakers that will give you odds on football, golf, all the sports, and everything else beyond that. Anything you need odds on, go to them, and they will find you odds on it. If you gamble responsibly. Use Paddy Power if you want to gamble or put bets online and things like that. If you don't gamble, don't worry about it. No big deal. This show is about me and all of you having a chat. The gambling thing is a side issue. But if you don't gamble, pay no attention to what I've just said. If you do, gamble responsibly, and of course, use Paddy Power. What are we going to do tonight? Well, I have Ian from Paddy Power on with me, so he's going to have a chat. He's a Liverpool fan, so that makes it a lot easier. And he's going to come along. He's going to have a chat about everything that comes up on screen, because you people come up with mad stuff. And in between, he's going to drop you in some odds for the match tomorrow, for the Premier League, for the game against Norwich, all these different things as we go along. Ian, how the hell are you?
How are you, Gav? How's you cutting?
Good. How are you?
Great, man, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Ian, the first thing we're going to talk about is the Community Shield. We have a match against Man City tomorrow, 3 p.m. from Wembley. First of all,
thank God it's back, Gav.
Yeah, absolutely, it's back. There's been a lot of messing with pre-season friendlies and me sitting up really late at night and watching games and having beers with all these people. They're all great people, but 3 and 4 in the morning, it was getting out of hand, to be honest with you.
The cans.
Yeah, at least I did have the cans. But just for you, Ian, I've asked a lot of people throughout the week about this game. Do you feel this is a really serious game, or do you think it's just another step towards Norwich? Do you think there's any bearing? It'll have any bearing on things? What way do you feel about it?
I think it's a kind of a nothing game, Gav. But I am looking forward to it. Like, the pre-season hasn't been too impressive, and so I watched the Lyon game. Actually, they were very good. They seem to have the fluidity back in the team. I think you're able to make 6 subs in this, so I think maybe like Bobby and for Salah is going to start, but there's going to be a lot of change. So Liverpool might take them not be as fluid as they are during the Premier League season. So if I was having a bet on this game, I'd actually go for the under 2.5 goals.
You will go for that. I have a feeling there might be a good few goals in it. Somebody straight in there asked a question for Ian: how much money does it take to shift the transfer odds on a player?
About a score. All depends who it is, Gav.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get on to a couple of players later on, but now I have a feeling this might be a high scoring one. I think with the players that are missing for City, players just coming back for us, I think the tempo. I have a feeling the tempo will be okay, but I think that there might be, little lapses in concentration, players being that little half yard, and probably not committing as much with the Premier League starting for us on Friday, and I think City play Saturday.
Seeing Gav in the pre-season with all the changes, Liverpool kind of took a while to get going about in a lot of the games, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They absolutely did.
It's particularly you probably can expect to see Salah and Firmino taking off after 45 minutes, I'd say, as well.
Yeah, well, they were taken off. What was it? Was it 30 minutes against Lyon? Salah come off and Firmino come off. It was just literally their first game back, and they gave them that. I think both of them come off after half an hour. But looking, I suppose. Let me see. Avi Hantra says Bruno Fernandes next week. It's going to be magical.
Did we ask Avi how much he has on this?
Avi, yeah, how much have you got on this transfer? We really like to know.
And that's still 10-1 if he's looking to get another bet on.
Liverpool are 10-1. Okay.
10-1, Avi. Get on there again.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. Barry Carr says he's waiting to click an order on the shirt for Bruno. So he's absolutely an Avi Hantra. He's on the Avi Hantra train. But looking at the lineup for tomorrow, there was a couple of the young lads were sent back from the training camp, and I think they're going to be involved in this EFL Cup that Liverpool are involved in. Just what do you think lineup wise? Do you think you go as strong as he possibly can?
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty strong. I expect to see probably a midfield of probably Fabinho. Fabinho is definitely is a no-brainer. Isn't he? He's probably the most important player we have, one of the most in my opinion anyway. I'd say I hope to see Gomez back in the team. I know Matip didn't really put a foot wrong, but I think Gomez has more pace and he's just a better defender. the usual at full back, and I hope to see Keita in the midfield three, maybe with Fabinho and Henderson, and then the three. Obviously Mane not back, but maybe Firmino, Salah, and I don't know, Shaqiri or Origi from the left.
Yeah, that's sort of the team I picked. It's going to be difficult for him to pick a midfield. I think Fabinho's look quite good, and Kev O'Sullivan says there Fabinho should play the 90. The same as Milner. You see, Milner has been really good in pre-season for me. He's looked the fittest, he's looked the strongest, he's looked the most intense. But I suppose you're going to have to take Norwich into a little bit of consideration here. It's the big one next Friday. It's the big one. It's the big kick-off. So, and then I suppose when you have all these players that you are looking for, like Kev O'Sullivan reckons 60 minutes for the lads that are only back, but look, he's gonna have to kind of mix and match, isn't he? Like Friday is his main priority.
Yeah, like I think he should take this opportunity to get the likes of Keita and all 100% fit. We've seen at the end of last season. Obviously, with his pressing game, he needs to be on fully fit to be effective. And obviously, he added a few goals, so it's very exciting to see what Keita does at the start of the season as well now.
Yeah, absolutely. If anybody's watching this on Twitter or Periscope, just hit the share button down the bottom, share it onto your Twitter timeline. If anybody's on YouTube and you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your friends. The more people watch this, the more opinions we get. I've said this before. It's me and as many people as we can find giving opinions. It went a bit random last night, and it was brilliant. And we'll probably do that for the last 10 minutes as well here tonight.
What do you think of the centre half situation, Gav? Do you think Matip's gonna lose his place, or?
You know something? I'm watching. If I was judging it on pre-season, I would probably go with Gomez. And the thing for me was Gomez starts the other night, and he starts on the right hand side. And I know Lovren prefers the left hand side, but Gomez starts on the right, and the only position up for debate in the defence for me is the right hand side centre half. Now, if he thought it was going to be Lovren, he would have played him on the right. I think if he thought it was going to be Matip, he would have played him on the right if he'd have started him. But Gomez starting on the right hand side of that defence centre half wise is a big thing for me. I would go with Gomez.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking what Matip done last season. I thought he was fantastic. But what I would say is Gomez for me, I think he's a better defender. I think he's more mobile. I think he's more aggressive. And I think he has a higher ceiling. I think he would benefit more with starting the season than Matip would, because I think it would give him the confidence to go on and form this partnership with Van Dijk that looked to be so good for the first 12, 13 games of last season. So for me, it would be Gomez at centre half with Van Dijk starting tomorrow.
Yeah, the only thing I can see that Matip gives more is probably bringing the ball out centre half. Like he seems pretty good at that with them long legs. Like
yeah, he is quite good with that. And the thing about it is he likes to move out of defence, right? He likes to commit maybe an attacking midfielder or even a wide man to come in and try pressure him, and he seems to stride through and does open up positions. But I would like to think that Gomez there, he's not bad on the ball. He's not bad. I think the stints at left full and right full have helped him with regards to his ability on the ball. But we should have enough where Gomez should be able to zip it into a midfielder and it goes from there. Barry Carr says Sané is out. Is this out of Man City as a club, or is it just he's out of the game? You'll have to Barry. You'll have to give me some context on that, as Grizz would like to say.
Probably due to the transfer speculation gap. I presume his head's turned by Bayern and say he's probably out of the squad.
Yeah, and I seen the Bayern. Was it the Bayern manager nearly had to give an apology to City because he in an interview he said they were signing Sané and no official bid had even been made.
I think them losing him is a massive plus for us. If you think how effective he is off the bench,
yeah, absolutely. I think he's look. I love Raheem Sterling. I love him as a player. I always did. He left Liverpool under a cloud, but him along with Sané for me are City's best attackers. Barry Carr says Mahrez won't be there. Laporte won't be there either. And Mick reckons Divock to get the winner. I wonder what the odds is for Divock to score the winning goal. I'm sure you can find that for me in a few minutes. But Mick also reckons Sancho pre-contract for next season announced on deadline day. And have we got any Coutinho news? Do you know what? The Coutinho stuff came out last night. We're having Avi Hansra is having none of this. He's in the Bruno Fernandes boat, and he's being committed to that boat, and there's no problems there. Graves reckons that Coutinho's in the mix and stuff like that. There's no update on last night, to be perfectly honest with you. Graves has said to me, no, Monday's the day. So we'll have to wait till Monday. It's only Saturday. Get this game out tomorrow, and then we can see what happens on Monday. But look, just to finish up on the Community Shield, I suppose. Ian, how do you see it going overall? Do you see it being? You're saying under 2.5 goals.
Yeah,
So.
just as I said to you, Gav, it's probably gonna you see Bobby and Salah coming off early enough, just to keep them safe for Friday night. That's why I think, as I said in Liverpool's pre-season, they haven't got going just because of the changes. And City the same. As I said, you can make 6 subs, so teams struggling to get into their rhythm. So I can't see many goals here. So Gav, I'll go for probably the under 2.5.
Right. So you're thinking a 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0 either side. Liverpool 11-4 to win the game and 8-5 to lift the trophy. Maybe the looks decent enough if you want to have a punt on Liverpool.
Yeah, I fancy Liverpool in 90. I think it goes straight to penalties if it's a draw, doesn't it? There's no extra time and stuff like that. So I fancy Liverpool in the 90. I think I'm gonna go 3-1 Liverpool in the 90. Barry Carr says no Hazard or Sané to worry about. How many points would that have handed us last season? Correct answer gets a mention.
It saves us losing in the Etihad, doesn't it?
Yeah,
really?
all it needs to do is Sané's one to hit the post and come back out, and that does it. To be honest with you, but I'd be interested to see how many points it saves us. Well, it saves us. We get 2 at Stamford Bridge, and we get 1 at Man City, which would have given us 3 as opposed to 1, so 2 points. Am I right, Barry? I think I might be right. Will Wilson leave is another question. Wilson is an interesting one. He played well against Lyon. There was a few comments from Klopp.
If someone goes for 20 million, Gav, we surely have to take it. I know we got 18 in the Championship last season, but if you look at the games, he's not really effective. He just comes in and out games too often. I know he scored a brilliant goal tonight. That's what his game is all about, but he just doesn't do enough. I don't know what you think yourself.
Well, do you know something? I've been very, very torn on Harry Wilson. An uncle of mine is a Derby County fan, so is over there a couple of times watching them and watches all their highlights, and if they're on telly, he watches them. And he was quite impressed with them. He scored some stunning goals, but he didn't get Derby's Player of the Year, which I only found out the other day, which is really interesting to me. From when I seen Derby, he seemed to be the standout, but coming towards the end.
Mason Mount was more effective, isn't he? I think, did he win it?
Mason Mount may have won it. Mason Mount's the lad on loan from Chelsea, wasn't he? And I don't know if he's gone. He's
gone back to Chelsea now, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if they let him leave now with this transfer ban. Chris Brack says 3-1 to Liverpool. Shaqiri with the last goal. I think you told us that the other day, and you're sticking with it. I like to see people that do a prediction, stick with it, and never let go. Even if Liverpool win 2-1 tomorrow and Shaqiri doesn't get on the pitch, I want him to come back on, Chris, and say, Lee, I told you, and just never back down. I like that. If a 25 million offer for Bournemouth comes in for Harry Wilson, he goes. He's not on the bench for us, says Kevin Sullivan. Yeah, I think you're saying that as well, Ian, aren't you? If a bid comes in around that money, we have to do business.
But you'd hope that Bournemouth have learned a lesson from what we've given them already, Gav.
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, the Jordan Ibe one, I thought Bournemouth were trying to be cute at the time because he was doing well at Liverpool and he got him. The Brad Smith one was just a left. It must have been a left full thing, and they thought, we get him as well. I think he's back in America. I think he's in America playing football.
Also, Solanke for 20 million as well.
Yeah, it has been. It has been. The Solanke one, I could kind of see where they were coming from because the style of striker they have. I don't think he suited them. I'm not too sure if he scored. But listen, if they think they can get Harry Wilson and do something with him, like they've done with like a David Brooks that he took from Sheffield United, and Ryan Fraser, who's come through with them and done really well. If they feel they can take him, I don't think it matters where they're taking them from. I think if Harry Wilson was at Derby now and they wanted to get him for 20 million, they'd go and do it.
But at the end of the day, Gav, he's not really a 20 million pound player, is he? Like,
well, I don't know. There's a defender going for 85 at the minute. That's not an 85 million pound player, So it's just the way the market is. We keep saying this is going to end at some stage, and it doesn't never look like ending because the television money is so much. the prize winning for Champions League, Premier League, TV rights, all this stuff. It's just it's phenomenal the money that goes around now. And let's be honest, Ian. If Juventus come in for Harry Maguire without any interest from United, he probably goes for about 40 to 50. But there's a tax on it because it's an English club, and that applies to most players all around the world because everybody knows that the money they're earning from TV and everything else on top of it,
Yeah, and the fact he's English as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it fills an English quota that you have to have for European games and stuff like that. Just moving on then, we've discussed the Community Shield and we've had a look at what we think might happen and a couple of odds on different things. But the Premier League starts on Friday night. Norwich at home. They're probably considered to be one of, if not the weakest sides in the Premier League for next season. I would probably put Brighton in that category as well. I think Sheffield United will be in around there, but
Newcastle look fucked as well now.
Newcastle with losing Benitez. Benitez was worth so many points to them simply because he's tactically brilliant. You know what I mean? So looking ahead to this game, someone mentioned there that Mane is back on Monday and should be okay. I think there's quotes signed to Klopp or attributed to Klopp where he says that Mane is back. He's had a training plan. He's had an eating plan. He's had different bits and pieces. He's back on Monday. He should be okay for Norwich. No worries for this Norwich game, in. Not from me anyway.
No, Gav, the way the style of play, they're probably similar to the way a Bournemouth play. Daniel Farke has them like playing ball out from the back, and against teams like Bournemouth, when they try and attack us, Liverpool seem to just they're like are brilliant on the counter attack. So probably 3 or 4-0. I think I'm actually sitting beside you at the match, am I?
Yeah, I think we're beside each other. Yeah, I think we are actually. If we aren't, we'll definitely have a point before and after. When I say after, it'll be a long night after. It usually is when we're in Liverpool. Let me see. Someone's asked about Monday. The thing about Monday is it's just Grizz says Monday, and listen, Grizz, he's saying Monday. So when Monday comes, I'll give him till midnight. I'll be waiting up. I'll stay up until 1 minute past midnight. I'm going into Tuesday morning, and then I'll get straight on him. So that's where the Monday stuff is coming from.
You'd have to think of it somebody we've already been looking at, wouldn't it? It has to be Coutinho or Fernandes. I don't think we wouldn't go after anybody this late, and it's not Klopp style, really, is it? Yeah,
and you see the thing about Fernandes is like I know United are probably even money, and I think Spurs are probably in around the same. Liverpool around 9-10 to 1 to sign him. But the thing is, like the Spurs one is a weird one, right? Because apparently Spurs had gone to Lisbon to speak to Sporting Lisbon with regards to Bruno Fernandes, and then hours later it's reported that they've spoken to Sporting Lisbon, but their bid is being rejected. Now, what I don't understand is, one, why are Spurs, if they have, going all the way to Lisbon and never put a bid in the first place? Like going in and saying, right, what sort of money are you looking for? We're looking for 60. Well, look, we'll come over and talk to you, and we might get it for 50 or 55. But going over there and having discussions and stuff like that, and then your bid is rejected, it seems a bit of a makey-up story, to be honest with you. Other people are saying that they're after Lo Celso, and this is going to put pressure on whoever that fella plays for.
I think it all depends, Gav. I think Eriksen linked with Real and Juve. If he goes, Lo Celso and Fernandes probably be decent cover, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, the Eriksen one is very strange as well. For somebody to be openly looking to leave Spurs and be 5 days from the transfer window closing and still not be sorted. It's one of those. Liam says surely Christian Eriksen is on the move before deadline day. I would have thought so, but having said that, Spurs can be quite what way? Not petty. That's not the word. But they can stick to their guns and they can say, no, we let you run your last year. They're doing it with Alderweireld, And
I think, Gav, it's actually a great window for Spurs if they after getting Ndombele and if they hold on to their best players, like it's massive improvements from last season. Like just to hold on to their best players, and Ndombele is brilliant. I rate him very highly.
Okay, a random question's come in there. There's an apocalypse. You can only save 5 foods for all meals. What are you keeping? Let everybody have a think about that. Me and Ian will come back to that towards the end. So that can be our random question towards the end. But I don't know if it's a great window for Spurs. They've lost Trippier. they're looking
He
like
wasn't a starter though, Gav, towards the end of the season, though, was he?
yeah, but I think he's still quite a good fullback to have in their squad. That looks like Rose is gone. That there's talk of Aurier was gone. You know, they've signed a life lad from Leeds and sent them back. You know, they've end on Belay, fair enough, but it's a lot of business to be trying to do in the last week. You know, I think it might be a bit of a stretch for them. But the Fernandes one for me, I think I would say it's probably between United and us. Now United spending that money on Maguire today. Diabala, I don't know what's going on there. Apparently, Lukaku was waiting in Turin to be a Spurs player, and then Diabala is asking for crazy money because it's Europa League. That's what I've seen. Sessegnon off the Spurs, says Mick. I seen a rumor of that, and then I heard that it wasn't happening. Has there been an update on that, Mick? You'll have to let me know.
I think he was very close to signing a deal in the last window, Gavin. I think it all broke down at the last second. There was loads of money for him there during the summer. He's 4 to 11 to join Spurs, I think.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, Sessegnon, it makes sense if they're getting rid of Rose. He could be a good backup for. Is it Davis that plays left back for them? But it wouldn't be a bad move. And I've been told by a couple of people Sessegnon doesn't want to leave London if he is leaving Fulham, so it would make sense if Spurs are in for that. I don't understand why Arsenal didn't do it, and you know they're following Tierney for I don't know how long. If they went in there, they could have had someone that could play in midfield and try nurse them in at left back over a season and see how they get on. But Arsenal are spending money at the top end of the pitch when they should be spending at the other end, to be perfectly honest. He wasn't in the Fulham squad today, says Mick. So, well, there you go, Mick. That probably says an awful lot. I didn't hear about any injuries. But look, the Norwich game, I'm not worried about it. Ian's not worried about it. Somebody did say there they hate playing promoted sides on the first day because it's the cup final. I'd agree to a point, especially if you're away from home, and especially if you're in a tight little ground. And the pitch will be immaculate, there's no doubt about that. But if you're in a tight little ground and people are on top of you and they're right up for it, and it is the cup final, I do get it. But Anfield, Friday night, people are coming out from work, having a few drinks, going to this game. The European champions, all that, I think it'd be absolutely rocking. So I can't see a problem. Do you want to give me a prediction on Friday night, Ian?
Yeah, 3-0, Gav. Just as I said to you, they try and play ball. We just get them on the break with all the pace. And you said, under the lights at Anfield, they're going to shit themselves, aren't they?
Yeah. So 3-0 for you. I'm
3-0.
going to go 4-1. 4-1. I think we have too much of them. They might get a goal, a consolation and stuff like that, simply because it's the first day. If this was September, October, November, or anywhere in that period, I think we go and absolutely blast them out of the water. But they'd be hoping to catch us on an off night when it's early in the season. Barry Carses were a bit heavy for numbers in the middle of the park. However, Bruno was front 3 positions for me. I'm not too sure. I watched us against Sporting Lisbon. He played left of a 4 against us, but I think he would be perfect in a 4-2-3-1. And what I do there is I put Mane in behind Firmino. I put Bruno Fernandes out left, I put Salah out right, and then I go from there. I would absolutely love Sadio Mane to be playing through the middle of the park for Liverpool, especially if we're nicking balls off people around halfway lines and stuff like that. I think it'd be absolutely outrageous.
You see it last season, Gabs, he put him in as a number 9 and see even the amount of headers he got. He's actually a great header of the ball as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he has a knack of being in the right place at the right time, knowing where the crosses are going to be. And I suppose when you have two fullbacks like that, it's just get in the box and these lads will find you. Liam says that Norwich fullbacks were very young and no experience at this level. Should be easily got at. I think you'll probably see Norwich. Ian is saying that they do play football, but I think you'll probably see that Norwich will come and they will set up in a 4-5-1. And they'll go from there. The bet of the weekend, it's on the game tomorrow. I'm after having a look over the bets. I don't know if you agree with me, but I seen one that was Firmino to score, Salah to score, and Trent to get an assist.
Yeah, that sounds good, Gav.
Will we go with that one?
Yeah, who suggested that one?
I think the lad's name is on YouTube is Toxic Calamari. I do have him on Twitter as well, but what we're going to do is we're going to use his bet for tomorrow. So it'll be €20 on Firmino to score, Salah to score, and Trent to get an assist. I'll put that bet on tonight for him, and if he wins, we'll send him all the money. That's how it's going to work.
Up there at 16-1 there, Gav.
16-1. Oh, nice price. I might even put some on myself on that. But look, Ian, before we finish, people are going to ask about. We're after being asked about names and transfers and different bits. It's Saturday now. We have 5 days until the transfer. I'm not too sure what time it ends on Thursday. It could be
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock
It's
Thursday,
at
Gav.
5 o'clock. I'll be in
Yeah.
Liverpool having a pint at 5 o'clock, and I'll update you on Twitter as we go.
Yeah.
But for you, Ian, if you're to have a look and look into your crystal ball, come 5:01 on Thursday. What do you reckon? What do you see as Liverpool? Do you
I
think?
don't see any big signings, Gav. Just the fact that if you look back at in the past, you look back at Fabinho. If you look Robertson, it takes these players so long to get into the Liverpool way that they needed any big player coming in. I think needs a pre-season for Liverpool.
Okay.
Just to get up to the style and the way Klopp and the pressing and it's the way Klopp plays really. So I don't think we're going to get any big signings before the window closes, unfortunately. Or I think we really do. We need, well, not need. I'm happy with the squad if we don't sign any players, but I would prefer to get a big name signing in this window.
Okay. Chris reckons there's 2 in by Thursday. Chris, listen, mate, if 2 come in by Thursday, we'll have a big party. What was I going to say? Stephen asked for points. Is that tonight? No points tonight. Thursday, yes. Friday, yes. Saturday, yes. That's how it works next week. For me, I think 1 comes in. I really do. It's. I know what you're saying, Ian, with regards to players in the pre-season, but if I'm taking Bruno Fernandes for argument's sake, he's had a pre-season with Sporting Lisbon. I watched him against Liverpool, and he pressed quite high. So the pressing thing he can build into. He looked fairly fit, but I think if we are bringing him in, you could say to him, you're going to need a month to watch this team, and you would be involved in a certain way or a certain amount of time over the first month, but you would have to watch what's going on, and it's in a position where we do have decent backup, so he wouldn't be under massive pressure. So I'm going. Listen, I'll tell you what. I'm on the Abby Hansel bus. I'm going Bruno Fernandes before Thursday. Before we leave, the question earlier, Ian, we'll pick them between us. There's an apocalypse. You have to keep 5 fields to use for the rest of your life. That's all you will have. What are you picking?
You have to go for a 3-in-1, Gav.
Right, so a curry tray is 1. Okay, I'll have. Yeah. I wonder is that counted as 2 fields, chips and fried rice, or is that just a meal? Is it? Do you know what? We'll have to do only fields, so we can't do meals. So I'm going to keep chicken, definitely chicken.
Icebergers,
ice creams. Okay, yeah, not bad after a chicken dinner. I'm going to have. I done chicken. I'm going to have.
Can we pick cans, Gav?
Absolutely. Cans is in there, right?
Cans has to be there.
Cans, chicken, icebergers. We'll have one each. One each left. We have enough drink. We have dessert. We have our main meal. We're gonna have to have a starter and a dessert, aren't we?
A bit of coddle, Gav.
Coddle. Okay. Yeah. Look, we let coddle go. Stew, as I would call it. We'll take stew, and I will take garlic bread. Yeah, I'll take garlic bread. So garlic bread followed by stew with some chicken in it, and then we can have cans and icebergers to our heart's content. So that's the name, or that's what we're going with. If me and Ian, and there's an apocalypse that me and Ian survive, I don't think we'll survive very long on what we've just chosen. That's been your Fatback 4 Daily. The free bet will be placed tonight, and I will be in contact with the person that is involved and has won that free bet. Ian, thanks a million for joining me. I enjoyed it. Cool. I'll have you back on soon, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. The Fatback 4 show is back tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Myself, Grizz, and one other person that is yet to be decided. 8:30. Make sure you get on. Grizz is there, and the comments are on screen, and he's nowhere to hide. And it's always great when that happens because he loses his mind, and that's all we're in it for, really. Yeah, that's been the Fatback 4 Daily. Have a good one. Over and out.